Even though no place is truly safe when it comes to a narcissist harm, and even though the best choice is to completely isolate yourself from them, there are certain places you must avoid at all costs. These are the places where they come into their true monstrous form, reveal their deviousness, and destroy moments that should have been filled with peace, joy, or care. I always say go beg for help from a stranger, but never from a narcissist. Go to any event with an unknown person, but not with a narcissist. Because what they do in these situations will not only shock you, but it will also deeply validate you. It will remind you that you are not alone, that it was not just you who went through these things. In today's episode, I'm going to pour my heart into this. I'm going to share my personal experiences. So stay until the very end. I'm Danish, a narcissistic abuse recovery professional. Welcome to my channel. Today's topic is 7 places you should never go with a narcissist. Before I get started, though, a very important announcement. I opened the doors to my Thrive After Narcissistic Abuse membership program, which is guaranteed to help you move from surviving to actually thriving. This is your chance to join for only $27 a month, the last time ever at this founding member price. The link is in the description. It's open for the next 5 days only, and I cannot wait to welcome you inside. Now, let's get started. Place number 1, hospitals or clinics during your illness. Why should you never go to a hospital or a doctor's clinic with a narcissist? Because they will shame and blame the hell out of you. For them, accompanying you is embarrassing. If it's a grandiose narcissist like my father, for whom image is everything, they will bury you alive with taunts, with jabs, and horrible comments. They will treat you rather make you feel like a burden. They will make you wish you were not alive. You will start questioning yourself. Why did I even get sick in the first place? That is how you begin suppressing your illnesses, your pain. That's how you start pretending everything is fine when it's not. I'm speaking from my own experience. My father is exactly what I'm telling you about. I learned to hide my pain. I learned to hide my illnesses. I learned to always say, I'm fine, nothing is wrong with me. Why? Because if I ever told him or anybody in that house I was not okay and needed help, he would make faces, curse the day I was born, and make the whole process of getting help so humiliating that the trauma of going to the doctor was worse than the illness itself. One day, my sister was doing some cleaning around the house and she cut her hand really deep. Blood started oozing out. She was really young, terrified, and bleeding profusely. Instead of panicking and rescuing her, my father just stood away, mocking her. He said things like, "This is exactly what you do. This is what you deserve. This is how clumsy you are. Fine, now cry." She was bleeding so badly that she passed out from panic, and even then she kept saying, I'm fine, don't worry." Why? Because she knew showing pain would only get her punished. My mother and I were panicking, but she was panicking in this weird, self absorbed way. My father just stood there, laughing, continuing to clean like nothing happened. We had to beg him to take her to a clinic. She ended up getting 3 to 4 stitches with a lot of blood loss. That's how evil these people are. That's why you should never ever depend on them in hospitals or during your illnesses. Number 2, church or religious gatherings. The next place you should never go to with a narcissist is a religious gathering or an organization. Why? Because they weaponize faith, don't they? They shame you with scripture, play holy, and twist religion into a weapon. Going with my father to religious people meant nothing but shame, not guidance. He knew how to project a pristine image of himself in front of clerks or religious figures. He always went to the ones who enabled his narrative. And then, instead of finding comfort, what would I get? I would get shamed even more. Religious settings that should have been safe became torture chambers. A place meant to heal my soul turned into a courtroom where I was judged and condemned. The narcissist pretends to be humble and devoted, sometimes hurt, while in reality they're manipulating even the idea of God to make themselves look righteous and make you feel sinful. And unfortunately, this has a deeper, long term impact. Survivors like us often start distancing ourselves from God, not because God harmed us, but because the narcissist used God's name as a weapon. It distorts the spiritual foundation. It makes you believe God must be cruel too. This is not just about narcissists on an interpersonal level, it's also about systems. Entire institutions sometimes perpetuate this abuse by siding with image driven abusers instead of listening to victims. You know what's going on right now. And that is why, for many of us, going to God in these contexts feels more traumatizing than comforting. That's how deeply a narcissist can poison even your connection with the divine. Number three, obvious one, therapy or counseling sessions. This is the third place you must never go to with a narcissist. A lot of people assume therapy is a safe zone. But when a narcissist enters therapy, they don't go in for change. It becomes another battleground. They go to therapy to twist the narrative, to play the victim, and to gaslight you with the therapist as their witness. They do not see therapy as a place of growth or change. They see it as a stage to perform. They will create fake stories, forge evidence, and build a case against you. They will shift the spotlight so effectively that you start doubting yourself. You begin wondering, am I actually the problem? Am I the one who ruined everything? That is how damaging and destructive it becomes. And the craziest part is, many times they find a sheepish therapist, someone who is not trained in narcissistic dynamics or has not experienced them, someone who does not challenge lies, someone who takes the sob story at face value. And when that happens, the therapist unintentionally, sometimes intentionally, becomes the narcissist's ally. They validate the lies, and you walk out of the session feeling even more broken than before. So instead of therapy being a path to healing, it becomes a new arena of abuse. Number four, family functions. Never ever go with a narcissist to family functions, marriages, parties, or holidays, gatherings. No, for victims like us, these were never happy occasions, they were trauma theaters. My father would use these occasions to prove his control. He would make the host beg him to attend. He would hide, say he was not coming, act passive aggressive, and make sure everyone knew his presence was more important than the actual groom, bride, or birthday person. And my mother, in front of 30, 50, or even 100 people, she would create a scene. She would cry, blame her children, and paint herself as a martyr, abandoned by everyone, wronged by everyone. We, the children, became the scapegoats. These events, which should have been filled with love and unity, became places of humiliation. Instead of laughter, there was tension. Instead of joy, there was chaos. And if you dared to be happy, if you dared to connect with the relatives, they would find a way to ruin it. A cutting remark, a sudden fight, a staged scene. Something would always happen to spoil your joy. That is why family functions with narcissists do not feel like celebrations, they feel like mourning. You leave not with memories of joy, but with wounds that take years to recover from. Number five, workplace or professional events. Unless the narcissist is your boss, or you cannot entirely avoid it, you must not go to workplaces or professional events with them. Why? Because in front of colleagues, they put on the charm mask. They act like they're perfect, hardworking, and admirable. But at the same time, they ridicule you subtly, diminish your contributions, and take credit for your work, don't they? They will scapegoat you for mistakes you did not make, magnify your flaws, and make you look incompetent while hiding their own failures. If you succeed, they will find a way to frame it as their success. If you falter, they will put it under a magnifying glass so everyone sees it. Professional events that should have been about teamwork, growth, and recognition turn into power plays. They are not about building your career, they are about boosting the narcissist's image while crushing yours. That's why I call these events nothing but professional looking ways of devaluing you. Number six, courtrooms or legal proceedings. Now, let's talk about one of the most dangerous places to be with a narcissist. Of course, courtrooms. Sometimes you cannot avoid them. I understand custody battles, financial disputes or division of assets force you into court. But if you can avoid them, please avoid them at all costs. Because court is one of the darkest arenas when it comes to narcissists. They do not just fight, they manipulate and they gaslight the entire system. There's no fairness, unfortunately, no transparency, and no honesty. Judges, lawyers, mediators, they're all potential pawns in the narcissist game because they do not want to know what they're dealing with. They will show up with pages and pages of fabricated stories about how you abused them, destroyed them, and ruined their life. They will cry, perform, and play the innocent victim. Meanwhile, you, the real victim, you get painted as the abuser. And the craziest part, the worst part is the system often buys it because narcissists are skilled performers. They charm, lie, and twist evidence. They exploit loopholes. If you go in thinking truth will protect you, you will be destroyed. I have seen survivors walk into depositions and arbitrations thinking if I just tell my story honestly, it will be enough. No, but the narcissist will make sure your truth gets drowned out. They will attack your credibility, bring up irrelevant details, and overwhelm the process with lies. That's why, please, if you can walk away without catastrophic consequences, sometimes that is a safer choice. Because fighting a narcissist in court is like wrestling with a snake. You may think you have pinned it down, but it will find a way to coil back around you. Number seven, and the last one, their friends' parties or social gatherings. Never go to their friends' parties or these gatherings, right? Their friends are not your friends, their family is not your family. Only corrupt, supply driven enablers stay in a narcissist's life. Good people leave quickly once they realize the abuse. If you think involving their friends or family will erase your suffering, you are wrong. You're only doubling, should I say quadrupling, your trauma. These people are not on your side. They're NPCs in the narcissist game, following the script. At these gatherings, they will isolate you, mock you, flirt openly with others, and the crowd will still side with them. Even if you catch them cheating right in front of everyone, they will twist it back on you. They will say it's your fault somehow, that you caused it. That's why you cannot ever expect fairness in these circles. You will always be the outsider and the scapegoat. So, these are the seven places you should never ever go with a narcissist: hospitals, churches, therapy, family functions, workplaces, courtrooms, and their friends' parties. Each one of these is a stage where the narcissist performs, abuses, and leaves you feeling broken. But you're not alone. If you have been through this, your experiences are real, valid, and seen. And if you're ready to move from suffering to thriving, remember the Thrive After Narcissistic Abuse membership program is only open for 5 days at the founding price of $27 per month. The link is in the description. I will see you on the other side. Until then, let the healing begin and continue.